hello everybody, and welcome back to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. We're here. We took off a week last week to help highlight the continued protests going on across the United States in support of Black Lives Matter. And we are back, but we are going to continue to support those protests because they're still going. They're going to keep going. And we're just going to keep saying that everyone out there fighting the good fight, you are in the right. So, Chooch supports you. A lot of good people support you. Go and support. Go find some GoFundMes to give money to. There's a lot of people out there on Twitter just who are going through some trouble, asking for help. That's definitely a good way to help some people, is directly supporting them monetarily, not just focusing on the grand scheme of things, which, you know, that is also helpful, but there are a lot of people out there that need help on the ground floor, on the person-to-person level. I think that's a good way to help people as well. But just keep going. I hope everyone's out there still supporting people, still marching for their rights, because that is important. And also shout out to the Chaz out there. Keep chazzing it up. But now we're going to talk about video games, folks. It's me, John, the one who drives the train. And I am here with Niall.
Hello, hi. Gaming is happening.
Hello, no. Gaming is happening.
Amongst everything else in the world, gaming is happening.
Yeah, for real. For fucking real. We also have Walker. Walker, how's it going?
Hello. I finally climbed out of my DMC hole in the middle of the week of last week. And I am once again amongst the humans and not just a weird thing holding out control in a corner.
You became a demon. That was you hit your devil trigger or something. And yeah.
Oh, it was almost like that. It was disgusting how much time I spent on that.
Boy. Well, we could talk about that in a little bit, because we also got to introduce Chris. Chris, thank you for being here.
It's good to be back. Spend a bunch of time sick, and you come back, you're just like, I just want to talk about video games with my buds, and now I can. I'm very excited.
We're very happy to have you back, and we're very happy to see you back in bright spirits, in better health. So hopefully you will stay that way for as long as possible, and we're here to support you throughout all of it.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I think we should just go ahead and get started with news here, because
There are lots of them.
There's a new console.
Yeah.
So I realized this when I was putting out the questions post, but Chooch started when the PS4 was like being announced and coming out and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now we're on the PS5. We are an entire console generation later. We are a whole console generation, like 7 years, something like that. And we're still going. And that's really wild to me. But I guess enough navel gazing. Let's talk about the new console, the PlayStation 5. So there was a big, long reveal. They showed a bunch of stuff. And maybe the most significant was they actually showed the box.
Yeah.
And, oh boy!
It certainly looks like something.
It's something. It's like I keep bouncing between I like the way it looks and it looks like a PlayStation 3 sandwiched between into a file folder. Like it's so weird, because it's like, oh, this looks pretty cool. It would totally make sense if it was in the freaking in a science fiction TV show that takes place 100 years in the future.
I was gonna say that, like, when I saw it for the first time, the immediate thought that came into my head was like, oh, somebody at Sony, like, called up the art director from, like, Detroit Become Human and had them do it. Like, it looks like something straight out of that game, which I don't think is great at all.
No.
Yeah, it's it's weird. Like standing horizontally, like it looks like a weird, like almost like those like modern art buildings that start going up that are just weird. But
The horizontal profile of it is horrible. It's horrendous.
Yeah, it's
You're not
really
gonna put
bad.
that thing on its side. It's gonna look horrible anywhere. From the front, it's like all right, but on its side, it's ridiculous.
yeah.
I think it was especially telling that people were looking at that and couldn't process setting it to the side.
Yeah.
They were like, "Well, man, my cat's just gonna knock that over."
Like what kind of console requires a stand to make it stand properly horizontally? That's just weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, we got to see the console. They also announced that there is going to be a disc version and a discless version, so an all digital version of the console. They didn't really go into like how many terabytes are going to be in the hard drive, or how all this is going to work, or anything about the price, because. Yeah, apparently there's still like an arms race between Sony and Microsoft about how much their consoles are going to be priced. We don't know. I don't even think they know, because they're both just waiting for the other one to pull the trigger, and nobody wants to. So these things are supposed to come out in November.
Yeah.
So hey, that's coming up pretty soon, November, December, something like that. So that's we kind of need to know. People are going to start pre-ordering these things, Christmas presents or I guess holiday presents, I should say, excuse me. Like holiday gifts are going to be, people are going to be needing to buy these for the holidays, and nobody knows how much it's going to be. So it's a very strange thing.
To me, that just sort of says these are going to be very expensive, and neither one of them wants to be the one to get out there and say, hey, this is potentially $600, like with the power and like all this stuff about SSDs and everything that they're talking about, like those things are all pricey. And I mean, I think if either of them come in at 500 or less, that's like gonna be a surprise to me. Like I'm thinking it's definitely at least 600, but we'll see.
Yeah, like the weird thing about that whole presentation is they went an hour and a half and kind of almost said nothing about the actual system. The most information that we really got was when they were in Ratchet and Clank, and they were like, look at the ray tracing coming off Clank's reflections. It was just a weird kind of thing of like they gave you the all around view of it, but they like cut short before you could actually see what kind of ports were in the back. It was strange.
It is a very strange thing.
Yeah.
It is very weird. But we also got to look at a bunch of games. And I guess we could just run through what they showed, and we can, y'all can kind of shout out what you liked, what you didn't like.
Can I just say from the start?
Sure.
I think it's a big shame that none of these conferences ever partner with Koei to show off Dynasty Warriors, because that's like my number one concern when there's a generational leap. How many dudes am I gonna beat up in this barren Chinese wasteland?
Yes.
Just more dudes.
More dudes on screen for me to hit X, 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 and then occasionally Y against. Oh, wait, no, it's PlayStation. Square, 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 triangle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get it right. Come on.
And then sometimes circle.
Even more rarely circle. So yeah, here, I'll just go through this. Okay, so the first thing they showed was GTA 5, which I guess is getting some sort of expanded port.
It's coming to the PlayStation 4. Like, I love that they just had the PS4 logo on the screen the entire time.
Like, this is PS4 footage, everybody. Like, come on. It was dumb. That was a dumb showing.
It was so lacking in any kind of, like, self-awareness to start the presentation with a game that came out on the PS3. Like, the only way it could have been a worse, like, first game to start that thing off with would have been if it was like Skyrim, right? Like, I mean, they could have gotten away with it if it was like an announcement of backwards compatibility, but when it wasn't, it was just like, oh my god, like, this is what you're starting off with, like, this is your like out of the gate heavy hitter, is you're gonna give everyone GTA Online for free, like, that's it, like, just like,
very dumb.
Yeah, it did not set the scene well for the rest of it, which in some ways, like, I would, like, compared to how it started, I thought the rest of it went really well. So, you know, maybe lowering the expectations out of the gate was the right move. I don't know.
Yeah. So next up, they show the next Spider-Man game, which is not Spider-Man 2, which we found out a little later. I guess I'll just explain for now. So Spider-Man Miles Morales is, I think, going to be a launch title.
Yes.
Which, in and of itself, is nice. That there's a new Spider-Man experience, like Marvel's Spider-Man, as in the PS4 one. All focused on Miles, you know, so we are going to have the electric powers, the invisible powers. It's going to be written by, I don't remember the...
Evan Narcisse.
Evan Narcisse, yes. I don't think it's just him, but I think he might be in charge of it. And he wrote... Chris, you know a lot more about comics than I do. He wrote which Black Panther run?
Oh god.
Oh, so he's an actual comic book writer.
Something Wakanda Forever, I want to say. It was okay. It was something like that, but it was really good. He's a good writer. He's a good writer and has proven himself in comics. So I think him coming in to write Miles would be a cool, good thing for a game. And the bummer, though, is that the next day it was revealed that this is not a full new game. This is not Spider-Man 2. This is a sort of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy sort of deal, where it's going to be an experience. Like, it's not going to be like a 20-minute long thing or anything like that, but it's probably going to be like a $20-$30 game that's like a quarter to half of as long as what an actual Spider-Man game is, which it's a shame because, you know, a lot of people want to play as Miles, and, you know, there's a large call, rightfully so, for more black characters to be represented in games. And this is kind of a half measure, even though it's also a little understandable because they probably rushed. Well, I don't know how rushed this was, but they wanted to get this for the PS5 launch. So you can kind of understand that, you know, they probably had to shave a lot of stuff off, and, you know, they had to be a bit more reasonable about the size of the game. But it's also like, come on, you know, give Miles his own game. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, that was kind of deflating this morning, because it's like right now the current Miles Morales comic book from Saladin Ahmed is the best the character has ever been written in any of those. It is a phenomenal book, and I'm really excited that comics are starting to come back out because I've been wanting more of it. But like, it's one of those things where I want a lot more Miles, because I just really like that character when Bendis isn't writing him. And I liked Bendis's version, but I just like everyone else's so much more. But it's really like, oh great, you make a big deal out of this, but you don't actually it's another problem. It's that problem I had with the way they talked about the PS5. They showed us this really cool thing, but they didn't say anything about it until like the next day, when suddenly it was like, oh, now we have information, and that information is kind of saddening.
Right.
I do have to imagine though that if this is not Spider-Man 2, as it were, then whatever future game they make, Marvel Spider-Man 2 proper, it's probably gonna be either starring or at the very least co-starring in a major capacity with Miles, if only because after this game, having him as the lead and also Spider-Verse being as successful as it is, I kind of don't see a reason for that not to be the case.
Yeah, and like Spider-Man on PS4 kind of ends in a place that sets him up to take over anyway, so like...
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a major part of the proper 2 on top of everything else.
That's not the argument, but it is just a little deflating that they push this, and then it's like, well, this is also kind of a half step. But at the same time, like I hope this isn't spoilers or anything, but like there's been rumors going around that like it sounds like, I mean, like who knows how true it is, but like it sounds like they might be setting up the end of Spider-Man 2 to be similar to how Miles's origin story is, where like that universe's Peter is dead, so he becomes the main Spider-Man, and like that might be what they're setting up, but that it's just a weird thing where like they like give him his own standalone thing, and then they're gonna do Spider-Man 2 that's gonna be Peter again, but then probably hand it off to Miles by the end of that game. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird balance, but I'm still looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to the writing especially, and I just I liked the PS4 Spider-Man, and I am excited to play a game where the main character is not going to keep calling themselves Spider Cop. I want Miles to be a goofy, fun teenager and, help people out in his community and, be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that 2020 needs, I guess. But also, yeah, I wish that he got his own thing.
Yeah. Like you already said it, but the one thing I'm pretty excited about is that hopefully this game is a whole hell of a lot less rah go cops.
Yeah,
because that last one was very
it was obnoxious at times. Like I didn't hate the writing as much as some people did, but there was definitely a like, all right, we get it. It was a bit much. Yeah. Let's see. Next up, they showed Gran Turismo 7, which I have no investment in those games, but it was pretty. So if you're interested in racing games and just like graphical showcases, it looked nice.
Yeah, it looked like a Gran Turismo game.
Yeah. The cars go vroom.
I
am interested though, because I don't really play racing games, but I do want to know if they've kept that trend where like the new cars are super nice, but the number of cars keeps going down and down and down, and like a bunch of models keep getting grandfathered from like previous games, so they look kind of shitty compared to the new ones. Because I don't know if it's Gran Turismo specifically the one that's been doing it, but I do know that that's like a pattern with a lot of racing games.
Well, I guess we'll find out. They also showed this like really hilarious like mode where it was just like a bunch of like blank space menus of you like floating around. It was like those menus are really bad. It was like hilariously bad.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I like bad menus.
There was something I noticed in that Gran Turismo trailer where it showed like it showed that weird career mode thing, and they were going through menus, and one of them like said GIFs with like a little like present symbol on it, and I'm really worried that was them like subtly being like, hey, there's like some sort of loot box thing in this. When I noticed that. I was like, oh boy.
First I thought you meant GIFs. Like, oh, cool, there's a GIF
same.
maker to post your
No,
GIFs on Twitter.
I wish.
But, like, no, GIFs. Oh,
No,
fuck.
there was the implication in that trailer that there's blind boxes of some sort.
It can't be worse than the last couple Need for Speed, so...
No, but like...
Still.
Loot boxes are such a 2018 thing at this point. Like, if they are releasing GT7 with loot boxes in 2020, like, that's not going down well. That's not being taken lightly.
No.
Like...
Yeah, that... God, now I'm just, like, dreading that game instead of ambivalent.
Right, because, like, you know, GT is, like, the exact kind of game where you would put that in to be like, oh, you got a new engine, or you got a new, like, carburetor, or here's some fluorescent lighting for underneath your car, or whatever. Like, the car customization, as I understand it, I'm not a big GT fan, but from what I understand it, that game is heavily about, like, tuning your car and stuff, so that kind of sets some alarm bells off. But they didn't say anything about it, so maybe it is as simple
We'll
as,
see.
you know, here's a gift, oh, it's a new car, or whatever, as opposed to, here's your legendary
maybe it's just
steering
like...
wheel.
Yeah, maybe it's just like they'll update stuff, you know, they'll have like little update things where it's like, hey, here's a new car that's for free or something, you know.
Or like unimportant aesthetic choices, because like one of the things in GTA is just like, I'm earning money so I can buy that I mean, not GTA, but you know what I'm talking about. Gran Turismo is just like, I'm earning money so that I can buy this, you know, transmission or whatever. Putting that in a loot box would fucking suck, because it's just like, oh, I'm playing this race over and over and over and over again so I can hopefully get the loot box for the transmission that I want.
Yeah, and that's what they did for that Need for Speed game a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
like,
it was a complete shitty mess. I loathed that game because of that. Like, it was like,
I just got a cursed idea, but that's not as bad. What if they are doing like a gacha system where you can like borrow your friend's best car?
Yeah, one of those. Oy.
oh
I don't know about
God,
that.
you connect your friend with it and they help you race.
Yeah.
Oh God,
it's like Dragon's Dogma, but for cars.
You're kind of starting to sell me on this in a way, unfortunately. So I don't know. Yeah,
your cursed idea is better than 90% of ideas anyone would think of.
Yeah.
So
all right. Next thing here, there's a new Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like a Ratchet and Clank, but hey, Ratchet and Clank is really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, this might be kind of why Insomniac also isn't full force on Spider-Man, because this is also an Insomniac game.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, I guess the catch here is that you're going to be jumping around to different like dimensions through like wormholes. I think this is them like trying to show off the SSD, the loading, because you're going to be jumping between all these different like expansive locales immediately. So they got to keep up with that.
And it really looked kind of cool when they showed it in like combat, where he was just like, oh, I jumped through this rift and now I'm behind the enemies, or at a completely different area. That was like, okay, this could be really cool. And then also showing off like Girl Ratchet. I was like, hell okay. Hell yes. Is this going to be co-op? Or is it just going to be when you jump through a portal, you just suddenly start playing as the other Ratchet when you're in alternate universe? I don't know.
I think they might have been like implying that part was like in the future or something. Maybe it's like Ratchet's like daughter or granddaughter or something. Who knows? But
also had a tail though, and only male them have tails. So trans Ratchet, hell yes.
All right. I mean, you know, sure. I don't know anything about the Ratchet and Clank lore, but if they're gonna stand by that, then sure, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be like you're controlling her when you go into that, like, because they're going to need a way to keep the mechanics from when you're playing as Ratchet alive when he's not around, unless they want to like completely, change up how you play. Like for Clank, they'll need a Ratchet like surrogate, right? So I would assume that's her role.
Yeah, them splitting them up was probably like consistent because they want to keep those, that combat consistent. Because, because Clank helps out with the combat and all that. So then once Clank appears in that dimension, then Girl Ratchet's going to have the same skills, I guess.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, we'll have like the jumps and all the like the double jump and all that Ratchet has. And then there was one of the best names that we've gotten so far this generation, Returnal.
Yeah.
This was the game by the people that made Resogun, the Housemarque people. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Housemarque is making this.
Oh shit!
It is a sci-fi roguelike game where it's a third-person shooter. I guess it's basically a roguelike because the whole point of it is that you're trying to get further and further, and whenever you die, you restart. So it's one of those kind of. It just seems like a pretty standard third-person shooter, but you get to play as like an older lady, which is nice. It's.
During our meeting, I kept calling it Old Lady Dark Souls, but now it's like more. It's really interesting to me. Like, yeah, the old lady part is big, but also like the weird, like, I didn't realize that it was like a roguelite, which actually has me more excited about it because I've always liked the roguelite more than the roguelike.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I went from I'm interested to now I actually kind of want this a lot.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. We didn't get too much information, but, we'll see. There was the new Square Enix game Project Athia. There were some people talking about how maybe this might just be Final Fantasy 16, and they didn't want to say yet. I don't know. It was just like a lady jumping around, using like plant powers, like summoning a bunch of like fruits to attack enemies.
Yeah.
Didn't really explain what that was.
There was some like, maybe it's just how I read it, but it seemed like it was dealing heavily with like religious themes and stuff. I think that's where like the Athia comes from.
Sure.
Like I think it's sort of go kill God or whatever the game. Maybe I'm just misinterpreting it, but that's how I read it.
Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Final Fantasy's whole thing is just like, which name from mythology are we not gonna name this thing? Just open the glossary.
Yeah.
Odin. Yeah, there you go.
Now, which god are we going to attack and dethrone next?
Let's find out together. When Project Athia launches in 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that.
Optimistic.
Is they didn't say Yoshi P was working on that, right?
No,
okay.
I don't think they really talked about who like the director is. I did see that like Gary Whitta posted that I think he's helping to write that with like a bunch of other people. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of his, so that kind of made me be like, but
they
I don't know.
They
we'll
did
see.
say it was Luminous Productions.
Yeah, which is like I think people that worked on 15, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess we'll find out later.
Yeah, that is Tabata's group.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Then there was Stray, which was another just like animated trailer. Didn't really show too much for that, but
you were
it
a
was
cat with a backpack.
You're a cat with a backpack in a world of robots. That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's another thing. That's another thing I'd want to see more of.
Yeah, I feel like
cute
that
concept.
Yeah, I feel like that trailer like really like encapsulates the big problem I had with the reveal as a whole, which is that there just wasn't a lot of footage of, like, what is this actual game, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, here's a concept, but what's the game, you know?
Right.
That's the question that I feel like most of this stuff needs to answer before you can judge it, really.
Totally. There was Sackboy, A Big Adventure.
Yeah.
Which, my theory is that this was going to be a Knack game before they did this, and then they said, well, everyone hates Knack, he's dead, so they made it Sackboy instead.
Excuse me, everybody loves my spectacular game Knack. That's why we
Get
made
out
Knack
of here.
2.
Get out! Don't you have a console architecture to work on?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry.
Get out of here! Jeez. We got console developers just in the woodwork, in the fucking walls. Like, get out of here, Jesus!
Console ASMR is very important.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
God. I'm sorry, you can't talk about Knack without me going into a bad impression of him.
Bad
I love
Cerny
him.
impression.
I love Mark Cerny. He's adorable.
Mark Cerny is adorable, but also he's got to get out of here. No, but yeah, this is just like a third person platformer. It looks pretty alright.
Yeah,
They didn't go too in depth with it, but it looks fine. Looks like there's multiplayer as well. But you know, it looks like a platformer. It's probably be fine. Destruction All Stars was also announced. This is a like a car combat game that also seems like it has a lot of Monday Night Combat flavor. So it's very like game showy. Lots of personality from the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. That aesthetic was 100% just, holy shit, it's Monday Night Combat sequel. Oh, wait, no, it's not. It's a car game. What?
Yeah. Very American Gladiators type deal.
Yeah.
American Gladiators with cars. We already have soccer with cars, so let's just,
Yeah.
Keep it up. You know, there hasn't really been like a car combat game in a long time. So
you're right. There really hasn't.
Yeah. It had a real, like, Onrush vibe to it, and that was a cool game, so, like, I'm kind of into what they're doing, so, you know, maybe it'll be good. Hopefully it will be.
We actually saw Ghostwire Tokyo gameplay.
Yeah. And that
was new.
That was not at all what I think anyone expected it to be.
No, like... That looked like an action game. I was expecting spooky, but
yeah, because
I was really into it though. I was really into it.
Yeah,
it looks bonkers as hell.
Yeah,
it's just you're just going around like throwing signs, shooting fucking like spirit balls at yokai. It was rad as hell.
It kind of looks like if the spell combat in Skyrim wasn't horrible.
Yeah. Totally down for that. Looked rad. I am super excited for that one. There's Kena. They didn't pronounce it, so
game.
The Minions, yes, they're here. Kena Bridge of Spirits. It's just like a third person action adventure game, but also you get these little critters that you can command. That was very cute. It seemed really fun. Anyone have anything else you want to say for that?
I mean, it looked like a cute little thing. There's something about it that really reminded me of, I can't even remember what the game is called, but there was like some like PS2 game that really looked like that, and I can't for the life of me think what it was called, but like I can picture it in my mind. And it just reminded me of that, and I remember that game, whatever it was, being pretty good. So, yeah, This looks all right. I thought it had a real like Pixar kind of look to it as well, which
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very Disney, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
Well, folks, you finally got what you wanted. Everyone's been asking for this for years and years and years, but it finally happened. There's gonna be a Demon's Souls remake. I don't know if anyone here really cares. rumors about that. But
Demon's Souls is my favorite Souls game, and that game looks gorgeous, which makes it not feel like Demon's Souls. It's the weirdest thing. I was looking at that going, this looks incredible. I hate it. Like, it's the weirdest thing, because the more I think about it, the less I like it. And
I have no horse in this race whatsoever, but just it felt like it was a real monkey's paw scenario where everyone's been wanting this for ages, and then they showed this footage, and there were so many images, like so many image comparisons of people being like, "This isn't what I wanted. This is too colorful. This character doesn't look right. They made this too generic." And I mean, I guess I kind of get it, but also I don't know. I mean, I think we should wait to see what's going to happen. Also, I saw Scott mention, because Scott is the Souls expert around here. He mentioned that they showed a wintry area in the trailer, which corresponds to some stuff that I guess was cut from the original version. So it seems like they're going to be like re-adding all the stuff from that was cut from the original PS3 version. So that's pretty neat.
Like, it could be. Like, I'm going to buy it because I love that game, but at the same time, like, yeah, as I said, it's just, like, weirdly too pretty and, like, too much extra. It's just, like, you don't need to add all these flowery vines and stuff over things. We don't need a whole castle that actually makes it look less imposing than a shattered ruin did. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't need a glowy, fiery mouth from my thing with 3 mouths coming out of each mouth. Like,
and Demon's Souls 2 has this very peculiar look that games like BioShock and like the first Resistance have, which is like this very specific look that tells you it was developed mostly in the PS2 era, but with the PS3 in mind. And it's such a peculiar style that doesn't show up after like 2008, because all the games after that are designed differently.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We got a space game by the people that made that Sword and Sorcery game, if you remember that. The Super Brothers. Called Jet the Far Shore. That's something. I don't really know what's going on with that one, but that's probably good. Anyone have anything to say about that?
It's the Super Brothers guys, so I'll probably give it a shot.
Sure. We got Hitman 3.
Yeah, Hitman 3.
I wasn't expecting them to get that out so soon.
Yeah. But at no point in that advertisement did anyone get hit by a brick. Come on, guys, just at some point in your advertisements, to like give a big, fancy cinematic trailer where somebody gets hit in the head with a can of spaghetti. Like, show me the actual fucking Hitman experience, not he's shooting people with gun. Because he does not shoot people with gun.
I'm sure we'll get that in a later trailer. They'll be like, don't worry, everybody. We had to make sure that the lore was intact, but also it's still Agent 47. There's still going to be people walking around going like, I think something bad is happening,
Yeah. They still got to show us Helmut Kruger. They still got to show us the clown, They got a lot to show us, though.
Sheik Zanzibar.
Yeah.
All our favorites. But that's also coming to PS4 as well, and I think they said that there's going to be some sort of like upgrade thing where like it'll tell how you did in the previous games and maybe incorporate that into the story or something.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly what they said.
They said it was the end of the world of assassination stuff, so like I would assume they'll do what they did with Hitman 2, where they just bring in everything you already own, and just like it's basically like just gonna be a new launcher for the new content,
right.
Like, cause that's basically all Hitman 2 was just like, here's the same, like, front end, it's just got new missions in it, so, it makes sense to tie that all in. But unless they're going to carry over your stuff from PS4, like that's,
there's who knows how that's going to work.
That could potentially cause some issues on PS5.
I mean, if they're putting out that discless version, because that's the thing is that like I have the Hitman 1 disc, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do I still have that disc? Maybe I don't. But it's like if you have those on disc, that would make a little bit more sense, because it'd just be like, hey, you have Hitman 3, put those discs in so we can tell that you have those. And I mean, maybe if you have the download, it can just automatically read that you have it. You can connect your PSN, and then it'll just be like, all right, you have those. There you go. But there might be some like weird things where, you have the disc for PS4, and then you get the discless version of the PS5, and then you're just like, all right, well, I gotta rebuy Hitman 1 and 2, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that'll suck.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
yeah.
They've run that game really smartly, so I don't know if they're gonna blow this. Like, I mean, making a deal out
Send
of
us
saying,
your
"Hey,
discs
we're doing
and
that thing,"
we'll just check a box. I don't know. That'd be pretty funny. But,
Record yourself holding the box and looking to the side.
looking into the camera and reading your serial number on the box.
God. Who knows? They'll figure something out, I'm sure. We got Resident Evil 8.
Yeah.
Village. Resident Evil Village, I should say.
Chris got hot again. Thank you. Just big slab of meat, Chris Redfield. Oh.
Yeah.
Big rectangle Chris Redfield.
God, I love that.
No, he's not muscular enough. His arms need to be bigger than his head.
I'm so glad Chris Redfield is back.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I'm very excited for it.
It looks cool, yeah. There's werewolves and witches and a mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Resident Evil, baby.
Yeah, like seeing a mansion door with puzzle pieces on it made me just yes. Resident Evil.
Very
Even
good.
if I wasn't like the biggest fan of the first personness of 7, like I still am really excited for this one.
Yeah, I think 7 honestly might be maybe my favorite Resident Evil game. I like really, really loved it. So I'm very excited to go back to that specific style, because I feel like it's the only Resident Evil game that's ever been like genuinely scary, as opposed to like just campy zombie silliness. But I'm very excited to see what they do with this. I'm absolutely like, I think that might have been the highlight of the show for me.
It was definitely good. Like a lot of that atmosphere, umbrella, logos, and a giant mansion that isn't, infested by rednecks, and actually had like, hey, here's a creepy lady in a really nice dress that's going to probably murder you in some weird way.
She's probably a fucking vampire or something.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's great.
It's great. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think she ate his hand. I think she just eats your hand in that trailer.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan's hand goes through some stuff.
I feel like he loses his hand a lot. Yeah. Let's see here. A quick one. Yeah, they confirmed NBA 2K21. Like, of course, there's going to be sports games, but NBA was the first one. Not the first one. They also did Madden. The second one confirmed.
Sweaty.
Yeah,
they're sweaty as shit.
Holy shit.
I mean, whatever, right? Like, it's like when they're showing off a new console, the sports games thing is always, look at this sweat tech. Like, it's always that.
Yeah.
So
It's very funny.
But that was a very sweaty Zion Williamson.
That was very sweaty. Pragmata, speaking of Capcom, Pragmata is a new Capcom IP where they just showed like a spaceman, and he was walking around a city and he found a little girl, and then they got like sucked up into space or something. And we're on the moon. It was a lot. It looked cool, but they didn't really talk about what it was.
Yeah.
So, hey, who the hell knows what that'll be? Who knows if that'll even come out?
The fact that whole call, all of us were just like, it's Hideo Kojima? A new Kojima game? A new
Yeah, it had a lot of like Kojima production shit. Like there was like a cat that had like its skeleton, like it was like see through, so you could see its skeleton. And I was like, that looks like something that Kojima would do. You know, like there's gonna be like a codec call where fucking Otacon sitting there being like, Snake, you didn't hear about how cats are see through now? Like that's just like a Kojima thing.
It's just, my name stands for Otaku Convention, which was canceled this year, and I am sad. But I mean, just like the further that trailer went on, the more Kojima it got. I mean, it was a spaceman and a little girl floating through the sky, dodging crumbling buildings all the way to the moon.
Like he was messing around with stuff like on his suit that kind of looked like the Death Stranding setup. Like if like straight up, if he like reached around back and like pulled out the BB, I would have been like, all right, yeah, like there you go. Like it's just Death Stranding 2. It looked like that. We got the new game by Young Horses, the people that made Octodad, Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks.
They did not elaborate on what the fuck Bug Snacks was. It was just like all these like animal people eating like bugs that were snacks, and then their bodies would change, and that was like it.
What else do you need? They're bugs and they're snacks, and they're bug snacks.
They're bugs and they're snacks. Also, they had Caro Caro Bonito doing the song, which is pretty good. Yeah. KKB is good. Yeah. KKB is real good.
Wasn't a big fan of the accent on the voice actor was doing. Like, she was trying to sound Australian, but it was like drifting in and out, kind of becoming South African and kind of going back around by way of like Canada. You know, it was a hell of a job there.
Yeah. It was me doing an Australian accent for a D&D campaign.
Wow.
You know, it was me level of quality, and I am not good at accents, so
at least you're honest.
As we've heard from your Mark Cerny impression, you are a person of many voices.
There's Deathloop, which was that arcane game. That seems really cool. It's like a it's an arcane game. You know, you're going around, you're using powers, you're shooting fools, but also they revealed the day after that it's going to have invasions, because the game is about you play as an assassin and you're trying to do assassin things, but there's a rival assassin who is, I guess, like your equal or greater, and it seems like people are going to be able to play as her and invade your game.
Yeah.
Which is pretty neat.
Like, I'm still trying to figure out what that game is going to be, because, like, that first trailer made it seem like he thinks if he kills her that the time loop will end, or whatever's going to go on, or if it's going to be something where, they both think that and then team up at the end to... You know, like, I'm interested to see what this kind of game is. And with Arcane, I have always kind of been a fan of what they do. Mm-hmm. And this time, them showing, like, a bunch of cool powers and kind of stuff that was going on made me like, okay.
See,
I'm here for this.
I kind of felt like the opposite when I heard it was Arcane, because I've never been able to get into any of their games. But something about the way this is like being presented makes me think that it's going to be a lot like more focused and more fast paced than sort of these like immersive sim experiences that they keep putting out, which maybe might, you know, be more appealing to me. I feel like every time I've tried to play like Prey or Dishonored, I just get lost and like like it's so, there's so much in them that I just kind of get overwhelmed to some extent or something. And I just never stick with them. So like maybe if this is more focused, I could see myself getting into it. It definitely has a cool like look to it. I really dig the like grindhouse like feel to it. It had a little bit of like like there were calls to like Vertigo and stuff like that, and like the way like just visually it's designed. I thought that was cool as well. Like, so it's visually like everything about like how they're presenting it is like appealing to me. It's just the fact that the name Arcane is like on the box that is kind of like giving me pause.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they finally land another game that sells, because Dishonored 2 did horribly and Prey did horribly. I can't imagine they're gonna get any more chances if this doesn't do well.
We got a game called Goodbye Volcano High that is it's a game by Co-op, KO_OP, Coop. That is I don't know exactly what kind of game it is. I think it's gonna probably be like a visual novel sort of deal, where you're playing as like dinosaur people, and they seem to be mostly gay. So this seems to be like a gay coming of age story about dinosaur people going through like the extinction. It seems like that seemed pretty cool, but also it seems like the person who wrote it also was the person who did a bunch of those like really weird Kotaku articles talking about like source filmmaker porn. And, posted all those, like, completely uncensored GIFs of, like, underage Harry Potter characters fucking. So, be cautioned, I guess.
Yeah, that took the wind out of the sails of seeing one of the developers respond to someone with, like, who is, like, excited. The main character is non-binary. That is awesome. I was excited, too. And then it's like, oh, whew. Like I'm still like tentatively like really excited and interested in that game because hey, more queer, non-binary main characters and stuff like that. Awesome. If it's good, I'll be really happy. And if some of the stuff from the I'll just say well-meaning allies who might not know always. Stuff kind of rears its ugly head, which happens a lot in games and writing that tackles that issue where you're like, oh, I'm really excited for this. They have an ex main character. And then you're going, yeah, that sure was written by a straight white guy or a straight white person. Like,
absolutely.
You never know what you're going to get. But like, seeing somebody say, hey, most of the team working on this is queer and we put a lot of ourselves into that also makes me go, okay, I tentatively excited still, even with the creepy Kotaku writer.
Fingers crossed that they just kept them in line. Let's just say that.
Okay. Fingers crossed that I don't turn it on and it opens with source filmmaker.
I don't think
it's okay because she's actually 1,000 years old.
I don't think that'll happen at least, but I think it should be okay, but again, just keep everyone informed. And then finally they announced the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West.
Ooh.
Don't really have a horse in that race either, but from what because Rose told me that apparently in the lore, the Forbidden West is Utah. So it's just going to Utah.
Heck yeah, Aloy in her magic underwear.
Yeah? Yeah. And Lance Reddick's in it.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
Just about the only thing I remember from the original was that Lance Reddick was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the original. I'm a stickler for archery, and in a game that revolves almost entirely around attacks based on archery, her form is just terrible, and it makes me mad. It's like 90% of the artists that draw like Green Arrow and Hawkeye stories. I'm just like, fuck you, you can't shoot like, you would be able to do shit like that. Fucking hell. That. Yeah. But like, it was good to see her archery form is still terrible.
Yeah, I thought Horizon was pretty good, and then I put it down after finishing it, and like, if you'd asked me anything about it like a half an hour afterwards, I wouldn't have been able to name a single character. You know, like it was like perfectly fine YA adventure stuff, and then you forget it as soon as it's over, and that was all it kind of was. So, you know, I'm not like super excited for this, but I mean, the first one was good. This should be fine, you know.
Oh yeah, just that. So other than that, there was some like IGN reveals. I'm not gonna go through everything for that because it was just a lot of tiny stuff. But I'll shout out a game that I saw that I thought looked cool, and if you all saw stuff from the IGN reveals you want to shout out, go ahead. I just want to shout out Demon Turf. That game looks adorable.
Sure.
It is a game where you just made that joke there, Chris, but it is a game where you're playing as this little demon girl. They said that she's 1,000 years old, but she's like they just made her like a spunky teen, basically. It's not for horny reasons. It is just it's an actual joke.
Yeah.
But the whole thing of the game is that it is a 3D third person like platformer where you have a bunch of demon abilities, like you can turn into a bat, you can turn into an octopus when you're underwater. You could just do a bunch of like fun 3D platformer activities. The art style is just really amazing. Like she's rendered in like 2D. Sometimes that can look really wonky, but they somehow made it look really, really cool and really, really just gorgeous in this world. Like all the art is fantastic. And it just looks like a fun time. I feel like I want to see more of what the like objectives are in the missions before I can really say that I'm truly excited. But if it's anything like a Mario 64 sort of deal, they said that it wasn't like a collectathon, but I want to see what kind of objectives there are. But the gameplay looked pretty solid. I'm excited. This is by the people that made a Slime Son. If you remember that coming out like a few years ago, that was like a 2D platformer, like a really hard one. I don't think they said they wanted this one to be difficult, but yeah, that looked cool. Is there anything else you all want to shout out?
Yo, Ramlethal. Hell yes. I mean, she doesn't have her shark chompers yet in any of the scenes we've shown, but if Ramlethal's there, that means there's a good chance her sister will be too, which means I'm going to hate this game even more. My 0 in a billion record against Elfelt will continue to get worse. Fuck Elfelt.
No. Like, I will fight you on this. I hope Alpha gets in, otherwise I'm gonna be even more down on this one than I already am.
I'm screaming in Jam Kudoberry.
Yeah.
Anything else for you all? Or because honestly, the IGN thing, it was just like, there's some okay stuff here and there. But,
there was that Void Train thing from the first day that looked like it could be an interesting idea once it all solidifies. But other than that, most of it's kind of just looked like... I mean, there was a World of Darkness game that, like all other World of Darkness games, looks like hot garbage.
Yeah, like it was like Werewolf Blood Earth or whatever. Like it was some dumb bad name.
Yeah,
it was the most Rob Liefeld fucking video game character name of all time.
Yeah, there was Metal Hellsinger. I thought that, like, conceptually, I was kind of into the idea of like Doom but a rhythm game. That could potentially be pretty cool. 13, the remake of 13 looked surprisingly good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a soft spot for that original.
It looks like a super up-resed 13, and 13 may be my favorite like video game ever at transferring the comic book aesthetic to a game.
Yeah, sure.
Like a lot of games do the like, hey, here's a panel cut in of stuff. Comic book games will do that, but none of them do it very well. Outside of 13 did it really, really well.
Yeah.
What about Comic Zone?
Comic Zone. God.
I mean, Comic Zone, if they were to remake Comic Zone and make it into a good game, that would be rad.
It was good.
No, it wasn't. It was terrible.
Oh.
It was a freaking awesome idea, but it was a terrible game.
Yeah, there's a lot about Comic Zone I dig, but whenever I actually sit down and try to play it, I'm like, oh no.
This feels like
rough.
butt.
Yeah. And then there was that game. There was also that game where you're just like fixing a spaceship. That was cute. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but that was cute. That was shown on day 3. I want to check that out. Oh, and also 13 Sentinels. Aegis Rim. That's coming out on September 6th or 8th. I don't remember. It's one of those days. But that's coming out over here finally. I want to give that game a shot because I remember when I saw like Japanese gameplay, I was sitting there like, what the flying fuck is this? I couldn't tell what was going on. I want to give it another go though, because I want to be fair, and also I really like Vanillaware games.
I've been like looking forward to that game for a good while, just because I've been I'm friends with a lot of like the Japanese Suikoden community, and a lot of them have been playing it for a year now. Because that game came out forever ago.
Is it really something that people are like that into?
They are really, really into it. Like it is, like I've seen people describe it as one of their favorite games of all time.
Wow.
It's so that has had me like, I really want them to localize this already, please.
Sure. Well, here you go.
And now that they are, it's like, I'm excited. I finally get to play that thing, and it comes out just in time for my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, I think that's about it for all those big game announcements. That was a lot of stuff, but hey, there's still some more news, There's still a couple little things we can go over, but I think we should talk about what games we've been playing. Chris, since you've been out for a while, why don't you catch us up on what's going on with you?
Well, I found out that when I'm pretty delusional in a whole lot of pain, it turns out I'm really good at really complex games because my brain's shut off. Like, I flew through the rest of Neo 2 that I had yet to finish, and that might end up being my game of the year.
So far?
So far. Like, I mean, remember,
come on.
I've talked about Final Fantasy VII as my favorite experience of, like, maybe all time in gaming.
Wow.
I loved that game. But as an overall game, Neo 2 is just so good. Everything feels great. I've started messing around with different weapons that aren't the Kusarigama, and just every weapon feels good in at least one of its modes. Every boss fight, once you puzzle it out, just feels incredible once you finish it. Like, the feeling of reward is just so great. Just leveling up and going back to old bosses when you're massively overpowered to help friends is a blast. Like, there is so much about that game that will never get old for me, that I'm probably going to keep coming back to it over and over and over again. It just feels so good from start to finish, and like, you should play Neo 2 if you like that kind of game. Even if you don't like that kind of game, maybe give it a shot, because it feels incredible. Other than that, like, I started playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. I mean, not Xenoblade Chronicles X, but Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered, and then all it did was limited edition. Or whatever. I don't even know anymore. Like, having that MMO combat in that game where it's just like, oh, you gotta get behind the enemy, you gotta get to the side of the enemy, you gotta get in front of the enemy to use this ability. All it did was make me want to go back to Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, no.
So I put a metric ton more time into Final Fantasy XIV and ended up mastering 3 more jobs.
Jesus.
Because when you don't have anything to do, because you can't get out of bed, it turns out MMOs are really good to, waste your time with. And they don't take, it doesn't take so much brain power that, like, when something hits and I can't concentrate for a while, it's like, okay, yeah, I still feel good doing this. But yeah, I took up the dancer job, and that is maybe my favorite thing in the game so far. It's just a whole lot of fun. All the animations are beautiful, and it has a good storyline, and it made me feel good. And then Red Mage, which has also been a lot of fun because it gets you a good flow of being able to attack both close range and at a distance. And it's like the way that game has balanced its jobs feels so good that now that I've branched off beyond just playing a monk and just doing gathering and crafting, every new thing just still feels like just as rewarding as good of learning. I love that game so much. Everyone should play it. You should all play it. Join me in my hell.
Soon.
Well,
I might soon.
I'm not really a Souls person, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then I finished and got every single ending of Sakura Wars.
Ooh.
And that might actually, there was just one thing I wanted to hit. Usually that game, every single one of those games has a child character in it that you can build a relationship with. This is the first time where at no points in the game does it feel creepy.
That's good.
Like in the past, it used to feel like a lot of them felt like either the girl character was like, Nissan, and like horny for you, or insisting on calling you brother. This is the only one where it feels like, no,
you're actually being like a mentor, or
you're a mentor, and then treating her like an equal.
That's good.
Which, instead of being horny for her, and it was like,
okay,
thank you, God. I was so worried, but then she has an entire chapter of the game that's dedicated to building out her story, and it feels like it suddenly goes from, that's when it suddenly goes, okay, this is great. I feel really, I feel less bad about this game. I'm less worried. Now let's see what happens when I get her ending.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay, it's still good. It's still okay. Oh, thank God.
All right.
But also in my list, I bundled this with Clubhouse games. Because in Sakura Wars, I've already talked about it, but they have a mini game in there that's just Hanafuda cards, which is a game I really love playing. I fell in love with it. I'm really good at it. And they also have it in Clubhouse games.
Yeah, they do.
And so, I got Clubhouse games, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to play through all of these. Oh, I'm just going to play 4 hours of fucking Hanafuda because that game is really, really fun. And everyone should enjoy it. But yeah, that's everything I've played. I probably played 300 hours of Final Fantasy, and because just you're stuck in a bed. What are you going to do? And Neo, because it's, but yeah, those games are amazing, and it feels good to play games that feel good.
Walker, how about you? I know we I know you mentioned it earlier, but are you okay now?
Yeah.
Are you done with Devil May Cry 5?
Oh, I'm not done.
Oh boy.
But at this point, I don't think I will ever be done. I think it's just become one of those games that I'm going to play just a few hours every week until my fingers give out. But I did basically everything that can be expected of a human without becoming one of those just gods that do those combo videos. Like, I platinumed it. I beat every boss without taking damage. I beat every boss without taking damage with every weapon. I just went in hard on that for the last month.
That's a lot.
And
I played through that game on normal or whatever, and I was just like, I'm good. That was fun, but I'm done. And you just went, ha, fuck you. I'm going in.
I also beat Bloody Palace with every character twice.
Damn.
Yeah, I just played that game a lot. And that whole month put out like a stop to the fighting games I was playing, because at some point it was actually becoming kind of more of a compulsion to do it than anything else, especially when I was near the end of like S ranking all the difficulties. It was like, well, I don't really want to play, but I'm like 3 missions away from finishing this difficulty, so I might as well stay up late and do it. But now that I'm free again and able to breathe free from that demon, I picked up Guilty Gear Xrd. I started learning it because after playing Strive, I was like, man, do I just suck? Do I just not like Guilty Gear? What's going on? What made that beta so horrible? But no, I think Guilty Gear is the hardest fighting game that I've tried to learn so far. It's really difficult for me to wrap my head around it. But yeah, that game is way better than Strive. Please, if you don't like Strive, just go back and play Xrd.
What are you playing on?
PC.
We should get some games going sometime. I mean, it might be tough with the, garbage netcode, but I mean, we should give it a shot. We were able to strive together a few times, and a couple of those matches felt good.
Honestly, if the internet is working fine, then I get like 4 frames of delay on average, so it might work.
Yeah, I mean, if between the two of us, it might end up being 9, but...
No, I've never had I've never had more than 6. After that, it's just... That's more of a comedy show than a fighting game.
Yeah, but you gotta realize, I'm on the West Coast.
No, I mean, playing with, like, US people, like, my average maximum is 5 in a really bad scenario.
Huh. Yeah, we'll have to give it a shot
Don't
someday.
you play the same character? Don't you play Jam, though?
I am a Jam, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Hell yeah,
So
Jam's
you can just
great.
feed me my own teeth with my own character.
Jam is great.
Yeah.
She feels really good. I love, it took me a long time to figure out, okay, I need to work on getting my hard knockdowns so I can charge cards so that I can, get a hard knockdown. But, I love how every character plays totally different. I started learning Venom recently, really digging into Venom, and it's just it's a completely different game than it is with Jam. It's suddenly I'm zoning and getting projectiles out there floating in the air for me to... it's so... there's so much to dig into with that game. It's why I love it.
Yeah, that's why I mean it's the hardest game I've tried to play, because I picked up the game and I went straight to Elfeld because that's the kind of person I am. And I jumped into training mode and I was like, no, this is I don't understand this character. This is not happening. So then I chose Dizzy, I think, and I also didn't understand that character. So then I chose Ramlethal, and that also didn't really work for me. And then I did Jacko, and then I was like, oh, okay, fine, let's just fucking do random. And I landed on Batman, and I was like, this character is so complicated, I would never play them on anything else. But I can kind of, sort of, maybe understand them, so this might be my character for this game. And then someone told me, dude, Jam's just basically a shotter, you should do that. And I chose her. But yeah, that game is just way too big brain for me. It's so difficult.
There's a lot of it, but it does have a really good training mode. It really does teach you a lot. And once you really wrap your head around it, it feels so good. Like, I mean, I lose constantly. I still do. I suck at fighting games. I always will. But I love the way that game makes me feel. Like, it feels so good because once you nail that combo you've been working on or whatever for the first time, it's just like, the best feeling. Or once you nail how, Roman cancels and all that stuff work, it's just amazing.
I was surprised by how lenient the execution is on Exarch, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, what makes it difficult is just that it's super complex, but like actually mashing out the combos is super easy.
It feels really good the way Gatlings work compared to Strive.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Strive felt bad is like regular Guilty Gear, it is so easy to figure out strings. Like everything flows really well. So you can nail out some really cool looking combos just by mashing. They aren't going to do a ton, but it's like, okay, it's where you start to build your base and then realize, okay, I can do this. I can hit it into a DP and extend that combo with a bunch of stuff. And it's just like, it feels so good.
Guilty Gear is cool. I hope it doesn't die when the next game comes out.
It won't. I have a feeling Zerd will probably end up like, and he's even talked about like, yeah, I kind of feel like I just want to expand on Zerd too with Strive. So I'm kind of hoping Ishwatari is just like, yeah, we're just gonna, Daisuke is just like, yeah, we're just gonna keep working on both. We're gonna add a few more characters to Zerd and
Sort of like a BB tag and Central Fiction dynamic, right? Like you have the super complex one for weirdos, and then like the more approachable ones.
yeah.
That's the one they're actually gonna push, but whatever.
Yeah, probably. I mean, and it's part of why, like Zerd is also why I'm looking at the Strive character choices with dread every time a new character is going to announce, because like I don't want to see Venom. I don't want to see Biken, even though they are two of my favorite characters, because like their stories ended really well. So please just let them rest.
Well, this is fighting games, though.
I know, but let them rest.
And this is Axis, like... Remember when Akuma killed Ryu's master, and then like 20 years later he came back in SF4 and it was like, yeah, I was just knocked out.
Yes, but here's the difference. Venom and Biken didn't die. They got happy endings. Let them live happily ever after. Also, you should watch the story mode. The story mode is incredible.
Oh, yeah, the one that's just a bunch of, like, anime OVAs slapped into the disc.
And,
yeah, I should.
And it's incredible. It is some of my favorite, like, video game stories, because all they did was, hey, we're going to do a frickin' visual novel with anime cutscenes. And they are wild.
That was such a weird decision. Let's just make a bunch of videos, no gameplay whatsoever.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like the way BlazBlue did their story with we're going to do that, but have you fight a single round of a fight every once in a while to send you on a branching path or whatever with the story. It's still
at least
like
it's better than back in the 90s when you never actually knew what was going on until the next game came out and told you what happened in the previous one.
Yeah. And also, speaking of fighting game stories, I also played the Mortal Kombat 11 new one. I forgot to mention that. It's mediocre at best.
Oh.
But, I mean, it's fun. But, I don't know. But, yeah, like, watch the Guilty Gear story. I will. Trust me, watch it. Give me an update once you have. It's so dumb. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Niall, how about you? What's going on over there?
I haven't really played anything because, the world right now. So I'm,
Fair.
I'm mostly just thinking about bug snacks, you know?
All right. How you feeling about bug snacks?
They're bugs and they're also snacks, is the thing, right?
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're bug snacks.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing is okay, real quick. If you work for Nintendo, you have to stop listening to the podcast for the next 10 minutes. All right? Just pretend oh shit, someone over there is making a remake of Metroid Prime and they're charging money for it on their Patreon.
Someone's making a Pokemon fan game. Quick.
Yeah, cool. Quick. Go get them. Okay, they're gone. Okay, we're good. So I've been playing Thousand Year Door on Dolphin, and it's been kicking a lot of ass. It felt like something that I needed to play, after a long time. Paper Mario has been a big, gap in my knowledge, especially, except for, original Mario RPG. I played that on the Wii, on the Virtual Console back in the day. But Thousand Year Door is something that I never got around to, and people were just like, John, it's so good, you love it, and you know what, they were so right. Especially because Dolphin lets you do all kinds of cool stuff. For example, there is a mod that you can download that fixes a bunch of problems, for example, there are some inconsistencies with characters knowing who Mario is, they'll refer to him by name when they wouldn't have told him his name, stuff like that. Little things. I like that kind of stuff with mods. And then also part of the mod is fixing how they removed Vivian being trans and re-adding that to the game, which is nice. They just patched up a bunch of little problems. It's called Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Plus, and there's actually tiers to the mod. There's a basic one that fixes the standard issues, and then there's one that's oh hey, there were a bunch of really good jokes in the Spanish localization. Let's add those. For example, everyone knows Rock Hawk, but in the Spanish localization, he's called Hawk Hogan, and so they just made him Hawk Hogan in this mod, which is really good. And then there's another layer to the mod that's we're changing the looks of the enemies and some of the items to make them line up with the more current versions of those enemies, which I think is kind of fun. And then I also just downloaded an HD mod as well, so it looks even better. So because I'm running on a 4K monitor, I might as well make it look pretty. But yeah, I feel I don't need to tell you all how good that game is because it is very good. And I don't know if Origami King will be anywhere near as good. They showed a new trailer that explained how that game is going to play. I guess there are partners in this game. There's only a handful, or at least they showed a handful. They were pretty generic. It was there's a Bob-omb that is just a Bob-omb. He's got amnesia, so that's kind of funny. There's a Toad who is a professor, a treasure hunter. It's not Captain Toad, but he kind of looks like Captain Toad, but it's not Captain Toad. And then you just get Kamek on your team, actual Kamek, Bowser's minion, I guess. And then they showed Bowser Jr. and folded up Bowser because the Origami King, he folds Peach to control her and imprison her, and then just I guess folded up Bowser into a tiny one of those little tiny paper square things, when you fold paper over and over and over again as much as you can. It's basically that, but it's just Bowser's face. So that he might be a partner too. I'm not sure. Just in that form, teeny tiny Bowser. I don't know. We'll see. They showed the gameplay, the combat for that, and it's a little weird. It's not how it was before, or it kind of has some of that, the items and all that. But you have to swing, all the enemies are on these platforms that are just these circles, and you swing the circles around and line the enemies up to do more damage. So you can get them in a line to, like, do a bunch of jumps or something, and then once you get them in a good lineup, it actually boosts your attack. And then they show boss battles, and I guess all the bosses in that game are just different kinds of, like, art supplies. Like, you're just fighting straight up colored pencils. Like, not like, oh, hey, these are, like, this is the colored pencil squad. Like, no, it's 3D models of colored pencils that you're fighting. And, like, a tape dispenser, and, just stuff like that. It's very weird, but I don't know, it was kind of funny, because it was just, they were showing Mario fighting the colored pencils, and, he was, like, shooting the pencils out like missiles, so you had to get around the container that the pencils are being stored in, and then shut it on the pencils before they shot the missiles, so then it just explodes inside of the case. It was funny. I don't know, it looks like it might be okay. I might pick this one up. I'm not like a crazy big Paper Mario fan. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it needs to be exactly like the old ones. But, playing Thousand Year Door, I see how good these games can be. And it is a bit of a bummer that it looks like it would be so easy for them to at the very least, be reminiscent of those games. Not just have these Toads as the characters. Like, do other Mario characters, other enemies. But this looks as close as it could be, with, I guess, Miyamoto breathing down their necks. It looks fun, but I still think Thousand Year Door is probably the best one of those games, and I would recommend checking it out. And Nintendo, you can start listening again. Hey, put that on the Switch. Put that on the Switch. Make it something that people can buy. And also fix the localization and keep Vivian trans. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been mostly playing. I also played a little bit of Snake Pass because that was free on Humble Bundle. That game is weird. I don't really love it, but I respect what they were trying to do. It's just like a bunch of puzzles where you're controlling a snake, and you have to wrap it around stuff to climb things, and I don't know. It's okay. I would say just check that out for free on Humble, and don't worry too much about going out of your way to buy it, because it's it's not amazing, but for free it's cool.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, that's kind of how I felt about that game. Was just it's okay, it's a cool idea.
It's a neat idea, but it's not. Yeah, it's not something that, is really necessary. It's just kind of yeah, that's fine. It's okay. And then also, I tried that Samurai Showdown collection, which was also free on the Epic Game Store. I think it should be also still free when you listen to this. It's a pretty okay collection.
Yeah.
The games all run great. It has, all of them. It has, 1 through 5, and then 5 special. And also it has 5 perfect, which was never released. So I'm not an expert on Samurai Showdown, but I think it was just kind of a balance patch sort of deal with some extra stuff in the story mode. But it's very nice that it is something that was never released that is now, permanently released, permanently out there in the wild, so people can play it.
And free until next Friday. So like
Yes. Okay. I didn't hop online. I don't know how that plays. There's a lot of there's a lot of art and music and all that saved. It's a digital Eclipse release, so they have a lot of those scans of art, and it doesn't seem like it's maybe their best release or anything like that. It's not like a Mega Man Legacy Collection or anything where it's as high quality as possible. But it's saving a lot of history here, and I can appreciate that. Something that's kind of funny too is that they actually have professional matches saved on here. So if just hey, you want to watch a bunch of sets of Samurai Showdown of the best in the world playing a Sam show, check that out.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean there's not 100 of them on there or something, but there's 6 or 7 matches that are hey, here's some of the best ever. Check it out. That's neat. Did any of you have anything else you wanted to talk about, or should I just keep going?
I think you can keep going, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some new stuff here. There's a Kingdoms of Amalur remaster for some reason.
There is.
I don't know what the hell that's. Why are they doing that?
I mean, if you're going to spend
I
the
don't
money
know.
on it, you might as well put it back out.
Got to build interest in the MMO
Yeah.
that. No.
That's going to happen.
Project Copernicus.
Like, if they released the MMO, I would be like, what?
That would be
More
very
than
funny,
anything.
honestly.
Kurt Schilling is going to get back into the fucking game business.
Fuck.
I hope Kurt Schilling gets into a hole, and that's it, because that's what he deserves. He's a
And then it gets filled with dirt.
Let's see what state he can bankrupt this time. It was Rhode Island the last time, right? So what?
yes.
The new game show. What will Kurt Schilling bankrupt next?
Sorry, Delaware, you're up.
Oh boy.
Kurt Schilling is coming to England.
Wasn't he a baseball player or
boy.
something like that? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a
Yes.
pitcher for the Red Sox.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just knew he was something.
And his kid loved video games, so he decided to start his own company so he could bankrupt Rhode Island.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he bought his own company.
I thought he
He
founded.
bought Big Huge Games.
He founded 38, right? And then they bought Big Huge. Wasn't that what?
Oh, maybe that's the case.
Because
Yes.
38 was
Yeah,
was working on the MMO, and then they bought Big Huge to make Reckoning, I think.
I mean, it's called 38 because that was his baseball number.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But yeah, that's something that's happening. So there was a bunch of Sega news, and all of it was stupid.
Yeah. John, it changed the industry forever.
It changed
Yes.
the industry. Yeah, so
Truly.
people at Famitsu were like, this is as big as the PlayStation 5 stuff. This is gigantic. Oh my god. And at first, everyone thought that the first thing they announced was that thing. Because the first thing they announced was the Game Gear Micro, which is one of the funniest micros I've ever seen. Because there are 4 of them. And
In different colors.
Do they still use 900 batteries?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think it's like that. But what it is like is that there's 4 different colors. They're $50, and they have 4 games on each of them.
The fuck?
They are fucking tiny.
Yeah, they're minuscule. They are so small. You need a microscope. It's so
You
tiny.
can't play
It's
with
like
them.
an 1.5 inch screen, right? And like one of them is like all
Yeah.
JRPGs.
Yeah, so here's the games list here. The black one has Sonic, Puyo Puyo 2, Outrun, and Royal Stone.
Ooh.
The blue one has Sonic Chaos, Gunstar Heroes, Sylvan Tale, and Baku Baku Animal.
Ooh.
The yellow one has Shining Force Gaiden, Shining Force the Sword of Hajia, Shining Force Gaiden Final... Okay, so the first one was Ensei Jashin no Kunihei, and this other Shining Force Gaiden is Final Conflict. And then they also have Nazo Puyo Aruru no Ru.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then the red one has Revelations Demon Slayer, SMT Last Bible Special, GG Shinobi, and Columns.
Okay.
Ooh.
It charges off a USB, but it also has... you can also use 2 AAAs, which is...
Oh, so
kind
it's
of
not 9 anymore.
I mean, 2 for a device that big is more or less the same as if it used 9 back in the
Yeah,
day.
honestly.
It is
You're right.
It is 80 mm by 43 mm by 20 mm. So this is tiny as shit. 1.15 inch display.
God.
Single mono speaker.
Okay.
And then they are also selling a big... Do you remember... Okay, so do you remember the Game Gear had that, big-ass attachment that you put on it to magnify it?
Oh, yeah.
They are
Yeah.
releasing one of those for this as well.
Oh, God.
Didn't hear about that. That's amazing.
This is so good.
So they announced that, and everyone was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then almost immediately afterwards, Sega was like, "Oh, we're not done." And they announced something called fog gaming.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the thing that people were saying was like the big innovation, and it's interesting, but it really just seems like Game Center is trying to save themselves, which is really sad because, you know, like, arcades are an amazing thing, and it's super nice for people to have a place to play games in public, to, you know, play fighting games together, to play competitive stuff, to play classic games. But it's becoming harder and harder because people just want to stay home. And then compound that with COVID, people can't go to game centers, you know, people can't go there to play these games. So Sega is trying something called fog gaming, where you can play arcade games at home. Once the arcades shut down, the games will just continue to run, and you'll be able to access those same games at home somehow. I don't know if it's running off of like a computer, I think it is, but they said that it'll have little to no latency. They're just going to run the games and pipe them up into the cloud.
So here's my question about this. So does that mean it's running off that arcade? So
Yes.
It's not a bunch of people all connecting and able to play like Virtua Fighter 4 or whatever. You still have to wait in a line, right?
Yes.
It's kind of it's kind of an amazing idea, but what?
It's the most, like, Sega-ass idea you could possibly have in 2020, honestly. It's... Oh... Like, there's a part of me that, like, wants to be like, okay, you know, they're trying something, it's kind of cool, it's kind of innovative, but then there's, like, who would want this? Yeah, this seems wasteful, like, I don't know.
I don't know, because they have a bunch of those games with, like, player ID cards where you, like, store your progress in, like...
Yeah.
I can see that working with some of the, like, Japan-only weirdo arcade games.
I still have a Virtua Fighter card.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are cool things, and like the ability to use that on my computer is like would be like kind of rad if, you know, Sega Game Centers existed in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is very much a Japan thing. It is not something that would work in America at all, let alone anywhere else in the world, but it is just very weird. I don't know. I don't know what this is going to do for game centers. I don't think this is going to save game centers. I mean, I just hope that people go play these games, but also, hey, be safe, because shit is just bad in general right now, you know? Stay at home unless you're protesting, basically, you know?
Yep. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Do all those good things.
Chris, you did just add something else to this list here. And,
I did, because we're talking about cloud gaming.
Right.
Did you hear that a little glitch caused Ubisoft's Gods and Monsters to have its beta released on the frickin' Stadia? Stadia giggle news of the week. It's been a while since I've been able to do that, but just they released a playable build of Gods and Monsters. God. And that's go Stadia. Like, what a stable and incredible system.
What a disaster Stadia is, like, honestly. What a fucking mess.
I think it leaked that the game even has a different name. I think it's just called, like, Orpheus now or something like that.
Oof.
It's wild.
It's just a Breath of the Wild clone. Like, everyone's like, yeah, this is just Breath of the Wild.
It's just so. Oh, Stadia.
I kind of can't believe Stadia like still exists. Like, nobody ever talks about it unless they're fucking something up really badly.
Like, literally every time I've had a reason to bring it up, and I've put it in our doc before, it's just been to laugh at it. And that's sad to me, because, like, Google, you got like $1 bazillion. You could make something that's not hot garbage.
I mean, that's probably why they just don't care. They're just leaving it on, and they're like, honestly, it would probably cost more to, like, turn this off than to just keep it on.
Oh, it's amazing to me. Like I'm shocked that there isn't some sort of Stadia Connect as part of this whole summer of gaming. It's like companies aren't even putting the Stadia logo on their release lists, even though they're coming out on Stadia.
It's very funny. Nobody cares anymore.
Oh, boy. Oh. Anyway, thank you for that.
No problem. We've got 2 more quick things. Chuck E. Cheese is filing for bankruptcy. They might have to close all the restaurants.
Now where are we going to go for our arcade games? Oh, wait, Dave & Buster's exists.
I mean, I would just hope that there are real arcades, because, like, Dave & Buster's isn't terrible, but... You know what's really good? Going to an actual arcade and playing a bunch of really good games, and maybe there's food there, maybe there isn't, but still, like there's a really nice arcade near me, and I hope once the virus passes, I would love to go. And it just oh my god,
Dino Crisis.
Yeah, or something. Wait, Dino Crisis? You mean Time Crisis?
Time Crisis.
Time Crisis. Yeah. Okay. I was like, you know what? Yeah, just hook up a PS1. Sure, I'll do that. That'd be fun. But yeah, Chuck E. Cheese might just be going away. I mean, this is part of gaming history, though, because Nolan Bushnell not only made Atari, but also made Chuck E. Cheese. A lot of people don't know that. So, yeah, I mean, that's why video games were at Chuck E. Cheese, because, he wanted to have a place that was, to draw kids in to play games. So that, there will no longer be a place for Charles Entertainment Cheese. The powerful rat has lost his power.
Oh, no.
What are we to do?
Actually, is Chuck E. Cheese the business with the animatronic band that actually has, like, a huge following in certain sections of the internet?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I want to know what those people are saying about this.
They're not doing too hot, probably. They're, like... freaking out there, like, oh my god, my Five Nights at Freddy's fan character has nowhere to work now. I don't know. And to wrap this up, we got some Pokemon updates.
Ooh.
I'll make this quick, because I don't want to kill you all. They announced when the first DLC is coming out, which is, like, next week. It's very soon. It's the 17th. I'm pretty stoked about that. I'll definitely talk about that on the show next week. They showed off a Galarian Slowbro, which is Slowbro, except the Shellder isn't biting its tail, it's biting its hand. So it has like a Mega Buster. It's got like a Mega Man Mega Buster.
Ooh,
which is really cute. Cool. And its ability, its attack, I guess. Let me see what it says about its attack here. Its attack is that Shell Side Arm. And it inflicts either physical or special damage, depending on which will damage the target more. It's a poison-type move. That's pretty cool. They talked about some of the other, like, Gigantamax Pokemon. They talked about how you'll be able to, like, turn your partner Pokemon, like your starter, into a Gigantamax Pokemon with something called Gigantamax Soup. They showed off 2 new Regis. Like Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. Well, now they have Regieleki and Regidrago. So an electric and a dragon type one. There's going to be Gigantamax Venusaur and Blastoise as well, because they had Charizard before. Now they're bringing Venusaur and Blastoise in. And there's going to be Galarian forms of Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Articuno is Psychic type. Moltres is Dark type. And Zapdos is Fighting type, and it looks like a Roadrunner. That one's my favorite. I love Galarian Zapdos a lot. And they all have like new abilities and new attacks and all that.
Explain to me how a legendary, one-of-a-kind, mythical, like, beast has a regional variation.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest, it's very strange. I feel like they are starting to kind of give up on legendaries being singular or something, because, you know, like, there's parts in the anime where, like, people just have a legendary, you know, like, there were episodes where people were just like, oh, hey, I have a Darkrai, you know. I think they're just kind of, I think in lore they're trying to make it more like there's only a few of these, and, you know, it's important when they team up with a person.
I mean, that's kind of like, but that's like reducing a legendary animal into, hey, I have a tiger.
It kind of
like,
is.
That's impressive, but like, lots of people have tigers. There's a couple thousand of them in the earth.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I like these Galarian forms. They look cool. They look fun. But I do also kind of agree with you that, yeah, it is just like a weird thing that there is supposed to be one Zapdos. But actually, no. There's definitely more than one, because somehow some of them went over to Galar and turned into Roadrunners. So, I don't know. Some other stuff they mentioned, there's something called the Cramomatic, where you can feed this like vacuum cleaner a bunch of items and it'll spit out other rare items. There's new moves, you know, like different Pokemon can learn new moves, like Burning Jealousy and Grassy Glide. And, you know, they're gonna keep going with new stuff. They're still announcing things. You know, they talked about the Crown Tundra, the next DLC that'll have like a co-op mode, and some Galarian Star Tournament, which I think is going to be like a 2-on-2 tournament where you're fighting like gym leaders and the champion and all that with a partner, which is pretty neat. But like, it's going to be like a partner from the game. Like, I don't think it's going to be like a 2-player sort of deal. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it'll be pretty alright. I don't know. I want to get my hands on it. I already have it pre-ordered, so I will play that once it drops, and I will tell you all next week how I feel. But I guess that's it. Should we move on to questions?
Let's move on. Let's do it.
Okay. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these fine folks are here. Anonymous asks, do you think that cat game showed at the PS5 presentation is going to be really sad?
I think it's going to try and be very sad. I don't know if it will. Like, I don't know, something about like the visual language of it made me like really like worried it's going to be like very Quantic Dreamy. Like there was a shot where it was just like, rest in peace humans, like to open it up, like to show you like, just so you know, there's no people left. Like, it feels like it's going to be very on the nose, I think. But I also think we need to see what it actually is before we judge it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my same thinking. I bounce between, is it going to be a sad thing, or is it just going to be like a cute exploration of a world without humans or whatever? I don't know. Like, I mean, all those robots are wearing really nice suits and whatnot. It's just kind of like, is it going to be Nier with cats?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, who are we just gonna have? Is there gonna be a thing where you have to like delete your cat?
Exploring the humanity of robots, you know, with a cat through the eyes of a cat.
Well, I mean, I feel like the cat's just gonna be like, well, can the robots open up the back door? Can the robots fill my food bowl?
Can they
Because if they
open
can,
cans?
then yeah, they're people.
Can the robots put kibble in my backpack?
Yeah.
Or
If
wait,
they can,
kibble?
then yeah.
No, that's dog food. Maybe the cat is going to go feed a dog.
Ooh.
Maybe a little of cats and puppies. Oh my god.
You know what? Maybe it's just gonna be a good game. We'll see.
Yes.
Okay. This person in their ask said that they weren't Old Spice Insulin from the Discord server, which, you know, kind of makes me think maybe they are, because if you're not them, then why would you say you're not anyway? They say,
Okay.
will the PS5 have Warhammer on it? Probably.
I mean, they kind of showed Warhammer 40K.
I don't know if it was a PS5
but
game, but yeah, they had some Warhammer game.
today on the bad IGN stream.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out. And finally, to round us off, Harlequin Wheels has a question. Which console did you have the biggest change in opinion on from its announcement to the end of its generation? Also, what is your favorite console design? Ooh, okay, so those are two big questions. Let's hit the first one. I mean, this is a really easy one, so I'll take it and get it out of the way. Definitely the Xbox One. The Xbox One has turned it around big time. And I mean, I feel like that is thanks a lot to like Phil Spencer taking the reins and changing it from such a consumer antagonistic approach to being more consumer friendly.
Sure.
There's definitely still a lot of problems with that console, but like from what it was when they first released, that thing is miles better than what it was.
It went from my backup console that I only bought one because I wanted to play Killer Instinct at the time. And then it became my main console once, backwards compatibility came out. Holy shit, I can play Lost Odyssey, which is one of my favorite RPGs of all time.
Sure.
I can play tons and tons of games that I've had forever. I can't play every game, but all the ones that I care to play from my collection, for the most part, I was finally able to put away my Xbox 360, which I still had out because there were Xbox games that I wanted to play. So yeah, the answer for me is actually the PS4. And I say that because I started so high on it, and then as the generation went on, it felt like a weird race where Xbox just kept trying to make the right moves to get people back, and PlayStation was doing, we're so far ahead it doesn't fucking matter. As so it became more and more of a disappointing system for me, and now the main reason I have it is just the exclusive games are the only things I really play on it.
Sure.
Nowadays, it's the exclusive stuff, because it's just everything works so much better on my Xbox One X. So it's okay, then my PS4 Pro. It's the PS4 Pro, great idea. It wasn't actually the Xbox One X was so much more of a leap than the Pro was, and it's been an interesting generation because the last one was the exact opposite, where it was Xbox 360. It came out, it did gangbusters, it had all these cool things, but then it started kind of getting worse and worse, while the PS3 they royally screwed up the launch and then kept getting better and better as the thing went on, until eventually it became my main console after 9 years of it. So it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually my answer for me. The PS3. That was a generation where for the first time I was buying my own stuff with my own money and not at the mercy of allowance and stuff. The 360 was the first console that I got for myself, and I remember just having way over time being ridiculous about the price of the PS3 and sharing those giant enemy crab memes and stuff. But as that generation went on, I got a PS3 specifically to play Uncharted and something else, Infamous, and then I fell down the disgusting habit that's called the Neptunia series, and I started playing all my terrible JRPGs that I very much love, and at some point I realized that half of those games are just not going to be on Xbox, so I started playing almost exclusively on my PS3.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the Wii. I was super excited for the Wii when it came out. I got like really swept up in the hype for it. I had a friend who got it like on launch, and he was like hyping me up real big about it. So like a month later, I bought one like just in time for Christmas. Because like I had a job running up to Christmas that year. I was super into it for like a month or two, and then by the time like it reached the end of its life cycle, I was like, look at this fucking piece of shit shovelware machine with it's like I go into GameStop and there's like 25 different carnival game mini game collections, and that's fucking it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
It became the machine you played Nintendo games on and nothing else.
And like I'm not the biggest fan of Nintendo's first party stuff. Like it just hasn't ever connected with me for the most part the way it like does for a lot of other people. So other than Metroid, like which was like pretty much the only thing I played on that after like that opening like release window, I was like, oh, I've kind of wasted my
on
money.
The Wii?
Yeah.
So you played other
Yeah. The baby, you know. And
The good Metroid game.
yeah, totally worth
yeah.
it.
Yeah, like by the end of it, I thought the Wii was just what it was, just a shovelware machine. So
It totally is. Like I still liked the Wii, but there is way more bad stuff than good stuff on that console.
When you can buy video games in a safe way, that's a bad sign.
Yeah. How about your favorite design? My favorite is absolutely the GameCube. It's got that perfect form factor of being just a cube. And the controller is still probably my favorite controller ever. And it's just, like, just so much about it brings back a lot of great memories. And, you know, I don't think it's just the nostalgia talking, though. I just love how it looks. I love that it's got a handle, so you can swing it at people, and it can be a murder weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. It's great. I think it's GameCube without a doubt.
I mean, if you want to talk about using a console as a murder weapon, you like drop an original Xbox on somebody, and that's killing them. Regardless of what body part you're dropping on, it's killing them.
Absolutely.
Definitely not my favorite design, though. I think my favorite would probably be maybe a PS1. I don't know. There's just something about like that old, like weird gray rectangle with the like lid on it that it's very nostalgic and very comforting to me. I think it's just like it reminds me of better times, I guess.
Totally.
I think I'm gonna go cheat and say the Vita.
Yeah, I like
because I actually hate handhelds.
Yeah.
But the Vita is the only handheld that I can play on for a prolonged period of time without my hands wanting to bleed.
Sure.
Yeah, I loved the Vita. That was going to be my answer too, just because it's such a good like form factor. But since you chose that, I will just say I still love the good old-fashioned top-loading Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
I just have way too many memories of coming home, slapping in Final Fantasy II or Final Fantasy III. Those are what the games are called. And playing for hours on end. I mean, that console was what really solidified my status as a permanent forever nerd. And not just, hey, I like that Nintendo thing. Mario was pretty cool. Super Nintendo was where it went to. I played through, like Final Fantasy II like 6 or 7 times just as a kid because I loved that game. And, you know, just the way that system is shaped, just flicking the power button forward felt really good. Makes a really nice click. the way the reset button slides back after you push it forward, just it feels good. Feels good. Super Nintendo was good system.
And it has that little dust gate so that when you take out the cartridge, like, it doesn't just stay out in the open.
Yeah.
Was it in the States that the SNES was different, or was it in Japan that it was different? Because I know, like, it was the same in Europe and one of the other two, and then it was different in one of them, right? The design. Was it the US that had the different design?
Yeah, the purple one. Right?
Yeah, the purple one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had the Bear controllers with like 4 colors.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so
We just had
US.
the big gray brick, and I love my big gray brick.
All right. Well, I think that should do it, everybody. I'm just kind of glad that this wasn't like 3 hours long because, you know,
Same.
it's talking about a new console. But hey, we got through it, everyone. And again, thank you so much for supporting us. If you want to follow us, it's at VGCC on Tumblr. No, at VGCC on Twitter. VideoGameChuchu.tumblr.com on Tumblr. We have our Discord server, thegamezone.zone, which is where you can find plenty of wonderful people to, you know, just hang out, be friendly, hear about nice things. We also have our theme song from Melt Channel, which is called Crush, off of their album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their old stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com. If you want to listen to their new stuff, it says Magic Circuit. That's all on Spotify. Just look up Magic Circuit. You'll find it. Also, you know, we have our Patreon, but for now, we would love it if you would go out and find some people to support on the ground, going out there, doing the right thing. So, you know, just go onto your Twitter account, and if you see a GoFundMe, send them the money that you would send us. You know, $3 or even more if you have it, if it's available. Do what you can to support your fellow human, because it is rough out there right now, and I just think that anything to help another person is good. Like, take some time to retweet some stuff, GoFundMe, get yourself educated. You know, sit down and read about what's going on, read about the struggles, and listen, because that is very, very important, is listening. So, you know, thank you so much again to everyone out there on the lines, out there working to make the world better. Because you are, you know, you're inspiring, and just thank you. And we'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. So long.